Dear listeners, regarding painting defects and their countermeasures, we had previously talked about one most important defect, and that was air entrapment. Our today's topic is bleeding. The table of contents that the item we shall cover are illustration and photograph, explanation, causes and countermeasure, how to avoid bleeding, repair method, and introduction to the next topic, that is blistering. As you can see from this illustration and photographs, bleeding can be defined. It's a red or yellow discoloration at the top coat of red, maroon, and yellow finishes. Pigment from the original finish dissolves in the solvent of the refinished material and discolors it. That is how it works. Bleeding, bleeding also known as discoloration, when soluble pigments or dyes from the substrate, that is the material which is being painted, migrate into the top coat, causing unwanted discoloration or what we call staining. The defect is often observed as a change in the intended color or a visible patch that differs from the rest of the surface. Bleeding can occur in all areas where layered coatings are applied. Layered coating, by layer coating we mean we have phosphate coating, for example, then we have primer coating, then we have top coat, and then in some cases we have clear lacquer. Bleeding presence depends on substrate coatings, that is the material being painted and its coating, and the environmental conditions during application and curing. Discoloration of the top coat, either in the form of a halo effect or in severe cases, a complete color change. This defect usually only occurs when spraying over red or maroon paint. Remember, red or maroon paints are very sensitive colors and they are prone to bleeding. Halo effect in the painting. Halo effect is an unintended or unusual glowing edge around a subject, that is, the material being painted. It appears like a faint ring or an outline. It could be darker or lighter, may have a different gloss level. So when they are different, it shows a different shade. Mostly visible at certain angles or under certain lighting. How halo effect is created? There are mainly four factors. That is, number one is blending. The problem is visible edge between old and new paint. Solution is feather, base coat, and blend properly. Feathering we have discussed in air entrapment previously. Number two important factor is color mismatch. That is slight difference. Even the slight difference will create rings. Use spectrophotometry and blend. Spectrophotometry is an equipment which is mainly used by the paint manufacturers for paint formulations so that they can prepare colors to match the customer demands or to match with the shade which is provided by the customer. It is main equipment used by the paint manufacturers in the manufacturing and in the research and development labs. Number three, clear coat. Gloss or texture difference. The solution is blend and polish the clear coat. Blend properly. Contamination. Paint behaves differently on the surfaces. The solution is thoroughly clean and prepare the surface that is to be painted. For a moment, let's talk about halo effect. Halo effect, the key point in it is in automotive and motorcycle painting, the halo effect is a flaw that reflects inadequate surface preparation. And because of blending and because of poor paint matching. It's especially critical in metallic or pearlescent finishes, where light reflects plays a major role in paint appearance. This I had talked about before, that maroon color are very sensitive and they are prone to halo effect in most of the cases. Blending refers to the process of feathering out new base coat, color coat into the adjacent original paint so that no visible line or transition is noticeable. The key point regarding bleeding is that it is a widespread defect in all industries using layered coatings. Whenever there are many layers in coatings or paintings, then bleeding may occur frequently. How can we prevent bleeding or discoloration? Number one, proper priming. Use sealing primers to block soluble material from migrating to the top coat. Number two is material compatibility. Ensure primers and top coats are chemically compatible. That is why the companies should preferably source their material from one companies because those companies can provide service, those companies can match the paints properly. And then controlled application, maintain optimal environmental conditions, that is temperature and humidity during painting and curing. Regarding countermeasures of bleeding and discoloration, number one, solvent in a new top coat dissolves double dyes or pigments in the original finish. For the countermeasure, the key point is isolate. Isolate suspected bleeding finish by applying two compound surfacer and or sealer. Sealer is the key. Allow to cure following product recommendations and then apply top coat. Another important cause is overspray from a color prone to bleeding. The countermeasure recommended is do not allow spray dust from a color, which may bleed to fall on other jobs. So clean the equipment thoroughly and prevent oversprays. Number three, improperly clean equipment. Test original finishes before proceeding by applying a full coat of the drop color to be used to a small flattened areas or small panels. If bleeding occur, then seal with a bleeding inhibitor provided directly by the manufacturer. So it means that first prepare testing panels. If there is a bleeding effect, then sealing inhibitor is a must. Other important causes are failure to seal off adequately the original finish and contamination of the undercoat. So the countermeasure recommended should be adequately seal off the original finish and prevent the contamination of the undercoat and never mix other products into the undercoat. How can we avoid bleeding in paint? Only use the recommended amount of peroxide hardener by the polyester body filler. In any case, if the bleeding occurs, the repair method is to use suitable isolating product, such as glassurate, such as stone chips, such as underbody protection, or any other primer filler if applicable. These are the sealing agents which prevent bleeding. In case of major damages, refinish the old surface using the recommended undercoats and top coats. Repair method: allow the color to cure, isolate with two component undercoats and refinish, or otherwise. Repair method: remove at the first stage, remove original paint, film and refinish. Use a good knifing technique when applying stopper. Knifing technique we have discussed in our previous presentation of air entrapment defect. Number 3, do not allow the knife to be used at an acute angle to the surface. This because the material to roll under the knife, forcing air bubbles in. The next step is seal body filler with a thin skim of stopper before undercoating. Then feather edge all damaged areas adequately. Inspect and reseal damaged body systems. Feathering we have already discussed in our previous presentations of air entrapment. Key to prevention. The first and foremost important step to prevent bleeding is sealing, which we have discussed in detail. And number 2 is adequate curing, that is, curing the paint at an adequate temperature, at the recommended temperature, and for the recommended time. Number 3, materials compatibility, that is, procurement of the material, preferably from the one company, so that the compatibility of the materials can be ensured. Number 4 important is control environment, that is, maintenance of the right temperature and humidity while spray painting and curing of the painting systems. In our next video, we shall talk about another important defect of painting, that is blistering. This would be our number 3 video on painting defects and their countermeasure. Thanks for watching. Thank you very much.